let's see. Tonight is an interview with UFO. Now, here's a band which I get a lot of requests for on the air, actually, and I really don't know a whole lot about them. So you're saying, well, then why do an interview? The answer is I didn't do it. Walter Hassett went and did it, who comes on after me on Wednesdays. Comes on at 3 o'clock, does the Germ Patrol. And Walter apparently knows something about them anyway. But therefore, I take no responsibility for this interview. This is all Walter's fault. And Walter's here to tell us about it. How you doing, Walt?
Good evening, Seth. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's, last week was Christmas. This show is taped, right? We're taping this right now, and I forgot to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
That's right. Tonight, Happy New Year. But, so you went and did this interview, huh?
Sure did.
And I just heard the interview, which we're going to splice on here in just a couple minutes. And these guys, I think, Walter, they had done some drugs.
Pretty much sure. The two people that we did the interview with, Phil Mogg, who is the lead singer, lead vocalist, and a guy named Pete Way. He's the bass player. And it just so happens that the night they played at the Ontario Theatre, which was the 12th of December, Phil Mogg announced his engagement.
Oh, my goodness. Let's send those cards to Phil.
He was celebrating, to say the least, his engagement.
Well, these... they sound a little downed out or something. I don't know. They sound...
Well, the interview originally was supposed to happen at 4 o'clock.
I know the rest of the story.
In the daytime.
Because it happens to me all the time in doing an interview. I have learned that you don't count on doing an interview until you're sitting there looking at the person with the tape recorder running and everything. And evidently you didn't get to do this until...
2 o'clock.
2 in the morning?
2 in the morning.
Oh,
okay, we were supposed to do it at 4, and like most rock and rollers, they decided they wanted to go out to dinner. So no interview at 4. So I sat in the bar at the Sheraton Park Hotel downtown for about 5 hours, finally went to the concert, and of course, everyone's so busy before the concert. They were willing to talk, but there was also about 50 other people in their spacious dressing room at the Ontario. So we eventually saw the show and eventually made it back to the hotel and up to Pete Way's hotel room, which is where we did the interview. And by that time, they'd had an entire dressing room full of liquor, beers, plus whatever else.
Well, let me sum it up here. Is this an interview or is this an attempted interview?
It's an interview. They were hesitant. The main feature of the group probably right now, or at least used to be, was a guy named Michael Schenker.
That's right. He left the band.
He was more or less, a lot of people say, the front man kind of, and he left the band. So the whole band is in a process of change, more or less.
I tell a lot of people, when they heard he left, they well, then what's left? And I think they don't know what's left.
Well, they have a good guitar player, and they say he's really good, and he is. He's a good one, and they get along with him a lot better. So a lot of the gist of the interview was more or less they were a little squeamish about talking about the actual reasons Shankar left, yet they were very satisfied with the product now and the future you'll hear in the interview.
Well, this is a cut. Let's do a cut here before. Well, first of all, who starts off talking here? There's no introduction, right?
The first person that we're talking with, I eventually cornered Pete Way, the bass player. Got him into his hotel room.
Right.
And we began to talk about why Michael Shankar left the group. And after about a couple of seconds, you'll hear a knock on the door, and Phil Mogg, who is the lead singer, walks in and commences to converse.
Okay. Well, let me just ask you this. You didn't get a whole lot of information out of them, right?
Well, we got a lot about Shankar, a good feeling as to where their heads are at.
But
and why Shankar left.
Do you think UFO fans will be able to somewhat find out what these guys are like?
Oh yeah, they certainly will.
Good. Well, then you served your purpose, Walter. Get out of here.
Thank you.
You knucklehead. No. Let's hear This is a cut from Obsession, their newest album. Excuse me. And this is it's a cut called Only You Can Rock It.
Guitar player that we've had, you know, like Paul Chapman. That was in the last year and a half, you know. And, you know, we get on well with Paul. I think he's very good. You know, if Michael won't come and play, don't want to tour, then we will. You know, and we'll play with Paul. Paul's good.
Do you want to talk about why he left, or is there any reason, or is it? Well, I was asking him about Schenker, why he split once, why he split twice. What's if you want to explain his story, as far as why he was there, why he left, and why he came back.
He's got a lot of problems, drinking problems,
Drug problems,
but he takes tablets to stop him drinking, and he drinks while he takes the tablets. He goes sort of blue every now and again.
Red. Goes to your face. And also, he has the other thing where he goes, I have to have 1 or 2 lines before it goes on. But
he's just got a few problems that which are impossible to
So
sort out while you're on the road, especially when we tour like 9 months out of the year.
he doesn't really like to enjoy himself, does he? Occasionally he does, but not often. He was alright, Michael, actually. Michael's a person, he's a nice guy. But to work with, he's, you know, he's a bit weird, it's strange. Right, so I'll go.
Yeah, we've got an album coming out in January. It's a live double, real good. I'm on it. You on it?
I'm on it.
He's on it too. Yeah, we're all on it.
Michael's on it, sort
Michael's
of thing.
on it.
We should go, Michael's going to be a good live album. They go, for me, no, I don't know about this. And we used to be very, very disappointed. You know, because he was like, he never used to have the energy, you know. We used to like into high energy and you gradually get down and down and down. He wasn't that keen on it.
Yeah. Well, someone was telling me that he had a lot to do with the group, as far as writing and
yeah,
stage.
it's true. There's been a good percentage of writing that goes like, you know, right along the group. So it's kind of...
We all do a lot, I mean, don't we?
It is a difficult change, you know. I'm sure it'll all be alright in the wash.
Sure.
We got this guy Paul Chapman from Wales, who's people tell me he's very good.
Yeah, he's a good guitar player, Paul.
He's a very good guitar player. He's just learned style packed up. He came on, what was it, a month ago to join us. So we rehearsed for about a week and started doing this tour.
Washington was at a 7th date, wasn't it? See, because we like the guitar players, you know, so we gave Michael every opportunity to be, you know, like a real good lead guitar player, so that people would go, oh, a good band, they've got a great lead guitar player, because we give it that sort of, you know, we make it possible for a lead guitar player to be popular, you know, play as much as he wants to. But,
How did they do it?
it's a shame, really,
How
because
did they
Michael,
do it?
I don't know, couldn't handle that.
Right.
Paul is great, you know, he can
Did
handle
you
it.
arrange it?
I mean, that's what comes from the material and things like that, because we all, basically the whole band writes a lot of the stuff. So different people come up with ideas and we sort of format it together.
Give me a sense. Can we get the phone?
Where did Paul come from? Or bands, you know, whatever? How did he
We
get
worry about Paul, where he came
Oh,
from.
where did he come from? He came from
Where
Wales.
does he come? Where does he go?
His cousins.
Dave
Evans
Edmonds.
is his cousin.
Yeah.
It's one of those long Welsh sort of rock and roll.
We were a bit worried
bands.
because he's in the new wave, Dave Edmonds, and we had to speak about Paul Jackson. I said, look, it's a heavy metal group. You know, seal them out fast, Paul. Why he used to be in the flower pot heavily, very heavily in the flower pot at one point. You know, I
At one point, during my
and he
career,
was
we
dressed in a
petrol pumped
caftan one night, and I see him and I said, God, this guy silly sort of like sort of guy as a singer, you know.
No, actually, they know the truth of it. That's the way. I met Pete and Mike Bolton, and like they were the only two gay guys in town.
Yeah, we used to share a bedroom in a house.
You know, I've been looking for a gay band so long.
Yeah, what disappointment it was. What disappointment it was. To go
I can
straight.
see we're gonna get real far on this. Peter, would you tell us about the band?
This band. Well, how long have we been going for, Walt? That sort of thing. Years, like me, Phil, and Andy. We've had different members. We've had Michael and Paul Chapman. We've had Mick Bolton, who played on some of the earlier stuff that was done, that wasn't really released in the States. And we've been touring for about 3 or 4 years. Can't say too much more than that, really, you know. We just, we're in there. Good rock and roll music, hard work.
Okay, well, tell me about the future.
Future, we're going to be fucking massive. Actually, can you edit it, please?
Yeah, oh, sure. Tell me about the live album again.
It's going to be good. It's a good live album. Even with Michael on it, it's going to be good. You know, we were disappointed that Michael had to play on the album because we had Paul. Paul's great. And Michael isn't really rock as much as what Paul does.
Phil, Pete, why did Leo Lyons produce the Three Chrysalids album?
Needed the money.
Leo was 10 years after
He was going out. He was going home for so long. He wouldn't
Alvin
go home.
Alvin was cracking. Alvin had put a push up his nose, and he didn't know what to do. And,
hang on, seriously. We met Leo.
He's
And
nice.
we got on with one another, and he did the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
God,
In
that's
actual
so
fact,
serious.
he introduced us to recording, you know. He was good,
Yeah.
Leo. He helped us in a lot of ways. And then we had to look for someone who was
What was
a
it?
better producer.
No Heavy Petting. Chick Churchill and Blair were on there from Travers Band.
Oh, that's right.
You wanna talk about that?
Churchill.
Yeah.
They sort of, they'd do anything for a bottle of whiskey. Really.
Yeah.
Jimmy Joe. No, they just popped down when we did that album. The one before that, Jimmy Joe.
Yeah, Jimmy. And he actually did phenomenon too, Jimmy. He helped out.
That is a good lad, you know.
Jimmy. No, it's good. Good for harmonies and things.
Do what you want, speaks for him.
Chick almost joined the band for a while.
You want to talk about the rest of the tour or something?
Yeah, we've got 4 days to go, and we're looking forward to going back to England for Christmas. And our amplifiers are working okay. A lot of trouble with our equipment, but it's sounding good all right for us now. You know. I tell you, the only thing about our amplifiers is I can never tell if it's any good unless it hurts my ears. It was hurting my ears tonight, so I know it must be working okay. Because the guitar stuff, you know, it hurts your ears.
I don't know, we don't talk about it much.
No.
I think
It never changes. The music never changes from guitarist to guitarist, you know. Like Michael went, you know, because Michael doesn't like touring. Paul played with us before Michael. Paul came back again. The music doesn't change. Paul helped write a lot of the stuff on the Fawcett album. He's always been a very good guitar player. Got a lot of faith in Paul. We think he's excellent. Yeah.
Why do you think people, a lot of people at the concert, knew Schenker wasn't there. Why do you think they missed him or what?
Because if you went to see a band, right, who you liked, and there was one person there, no matter who, then, if it was me, for instance, I went to see a band.
every good riddance. Glad to see you got rid of that Pete Way.
No, if you went to see a guy who, you go, where's he gone, You would, obviously, it'd be strange if you didn't. The only thing is we believe in is if you can't replace a guy with someone good, very, very good, then we wouldn't be touring now.
So you're saying he really didn't have that much influence other than just being a guitar player? Or...
He's part of the band, but Paul's in the band as well with Michael, you see, before we toured America and in between Phenomenon, and Paul helped write Fawcett with us. So, you know, we like Paul's guitar playing. Paul's got a big influence on us, you know. Paul's right in there with us, you know, this type of music. So it's not really...
Let me put it this way. Well, see, he left once, he came back.
Yeah.
You took him back. So, was there any reason for that, or? And
yeah, because Paul's was another group, and we let him go back to the other group.
who was he with?
A group called Lone Star in England. And in all honesty, Paul played some of the best gigs with us we'd ever played. In fact, we never had a big album until Paul played with us and Lights Out won the top 30. It's the first time we ever had a top 30 album. And Paul did the tour for like 10 weeks when the album went in the charts. And Michael came back for the last part of the tour. And funnily enough, the album went out charts. Which is, you know... And those are my socks.
These are a pair of paint-waste socks. They're extremely dangerous. Just for the general public, can you smell these? We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I guess that was... Would you say that's one of their first big albums?
That's the first big hit.
Mm-hmm. Is that commercially or do you think it's the best album?
Like Pete was talking about in the interview, it hit the top 30 in the album charts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was more or less a hit for a hard rock band.
Mm-hmm.
As you probably could tell,
yes.
that these guys were a little hard to interview.
A little hard, huh?
A little maybe high, but it was Phil Mogg's engagement, so...
You were talking to Phil Mogg and Pete Way.
Exactly. Pete Way, the bass player, Phil Mogg.
A lot of people
the
don't
lead
realize that sometimes it, it does get to be 2 in the morning, and these people are... but that's the way they are, right? I mean, that's...
Exactly. These guys are rock and rollers, and they live a rock and roller's lifestyle. And at times when you catch them after a hard concert, they expend a whole lot of energy. And by the time you hit them at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like interviewing a radish or something.
Well,
these guys were a little out for lunch.
That's, well, at least we got to meet them anyway.
But yeah, that was it, and did provide a few insights into where some of these rock and roll people are from.
Well, good.
Where they're...
Good. Well, listen, thanks for going and doing it, Walter.
Well,
being a
thank
trooper,
you, Seth.
keeping with them there until we got something out of them. I think we got something out of them, but we'll let the listeners be the judge of that, right, listeners? Okay. Anyway, next week, as I said earlier, I'm not real sure which one we're going to have, either the Ramones or Jean-Luc Ponty or something. I think maybe I'll take a vote on the other show I do is Wednesday afternoon.